So here's what I'd say about the uncertainty. I think we have gained some certainty in terms of some of the forecasts. If you look at both the 11 a.m. and the 2 p.m. advisories from the National Hurricane Center, we know now that this storm is going to come west and go north. At what point, we don't necessarily know in Florida, but it seems like a lot of these models are in closer agreement on the current track. And so, if you're somebody in places like Palm Beach County, Martin County, St. Lucie County, you've really got to be listening to your local folks. And if you're in an evacuation zone and told to evacuate, you need to heed that call and protect yourself and your family. But I am also mindful. We've seen some of these forecasts. I remember for Irma, people were leaving Miami, going to the west coast of Florida, and then went to the west coast and say they were going over there. So there is some degree of uncertainty when you have a state that is, we're a peninsula. Some places we're not even that wide across. So any error in this forecast, can really throw it in one way or another. So we know it's going west. It's going to eventually go north. Will it go north before it hits the East Coast? Will it go ride 95? Will it go up the center of the state? Will it go up the West Coast or even into the Gulf? We don't know that yet, but I think if folks are in some of those areas, they need to do what's best to prepare. But yeah, it would be great for me if I could say it's been totally ruled out to go one direction or another. That's just not the way it works. And but we're watching this very closely, as I know the folks in Orange County are.
How does it present extra challenges to you just not knowing exactly where it's going at this point? The models have bounced around, and the whole East Coast is pretty much still under a major warning.
I think it's been a challenge. General Eifert's here. He's in the process of mobilization. Obviously, if we knew that it was going to affect Pensacola or whatever, we would be able to pre-position assets. We still are going to do that, but we're going to have north of I-4, south of I-4 forces in different places. So it makes it more challenging. But at the end of the day, we've got a lot of folks that are working around the clock that are dedicated, and we've got a lot of folks at the county level who are really, really working hard. And I think that it stinks that we're here for yet another season of storms. The flip side of that is we've got a lot of corporate knowledge in Florida. We've got folks that are tried, true, and experienced, and this isn't their first rodeo. So that is helpful. When we at the state level are dealing with the folks locally. I've also been in contact with probably half of the president's cabinet. We've been in contact with the Commerce Department, which houses NOAA. We're going to have a NOAA representative in the EOC in Tallahassee. I've spoke with the Secretary of Defense about potentially providing support as General Eifert deems would be necessary on that end, and he was very supportive. So I think we've got a lot of folks that realize this is serious, and I think the fact that the president canceled his trip overseas is proof that the federal government's looking to be helpful on this as well.
We're going to have time for one more question, guys. One more.
What do you say to people who may be in that evacuation zone, or people who have decided they will not evacuate, even if they should be doing that?
Well, I think that would be a mistake, too. If you're in an evacuation zone and there's an order issued, that's not being done willy-nilly. When you're looking at a Category 4 type hurricane, if you're on the coast, for example, places like in Brevard County, you're looking at potentially life-threatening storm surge. And that is not something that you want to ride out. If you evacuate and then the storm turns somewhere else, you go back, you haven't lost anything. If you choose not to evacuate and the storm hits, that's something that could potentially cost you your life, and it's just not worth doing. So please heed the calls of these officials when they make those decisions. And we obviously, at the state, I believe in kind of working collaboratively with folks at the local level because I think you end up making better decisions. But we're providing our input on areas of the state that we think are of concern in terms of evacuations. We're nearing the point now where I think some of these orders are going to need to come down, and just to give people, particularly in the southern part of the state, an opportunity to get in a safe place. But we will have another update from Tallahassee later tonight. And, I really appreciate everybody here in Orange County for all the hard work they're putting in. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Let us know how we can be helpful. Yeah. Good to see you. Thanks, Mayor.
Hello, 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 hello. Mic check, mic check. No, no, no. I was just resetting my microphone.
And she wouldn't relinquish the TV.
Is that true?
I wasn't there, so they called me when I was out. So I guess she sent the police out, so I went to